welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, a podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I am your host, Nathan Ragland, and for today's episode, as we continue on to spooky month of 2025, grab your proton packs, your vacuums, and as well as some salt for some salt circles, as we bring on an incredible, ghoulishly good guest for a fun conversation. Today's guest is Meng Boudreau, an illustrator, animator, and director with a devotion for storytelling, leading the charge on the upcoming indie animated series, Midmortis. If that series sounds vaguely familiar to you, that means you were a person that listened to the Sean Poole episode. And it was thanks to that Sean Poole episode that I was able to make the connection to Meng and have this fantastic conversation that I cannot tell you guys how much I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. Just the enthusiasm that Meng had alone, like it'll be infectious, I promise. If you enjoy our guests, please make sure you support them with the links down in the description below. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer, as well as go ahead and check the description below if you want to check out some of the merch that we have, or even check out the Discord server. As for who we want to help this week, well, if you were watching last week's, I say let's continue that train and help out Soliel Fenley if you can. Since last week's episode, we have actually gotten the GoFundMe. Well, I can't say we, but the GoFundMe has definitely gone up to 20% of the goal, which is about $600, if I remember correctly, which is a great start. But if you guys can, please help out my friend Sol. They're in a situation to where if they can't get the GoFundMe taken care of, they could be losing their apartment, and years of work that they've had to get to VTubing and stuff could be just gone out the window. So if you can, go to the description below, check out the GoFundMe that's going to be linked in there, and donate if you can, or at least spread the word. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. So when did you hear about the podcast? Just out of curiosity. Was it whenever Sean came on, or was it before that?
No. I've been watching from afar forever, because remember, I used to own the Indie Sphere, so
Okay.
I don't think I was the one that invited you, but I definitely saw when you showed up and started posting things.
I think Show was the one that invited me, if I remember correctly.
Makes sense. They've told me a lot about you, and they were the one who's like, oh my god, you should ask him to interview you.
Yep, that makes sense.
It was just that Sean got to you first.
Because Sean was at least courteous enough to send me like a very nicely worded like email about this, about like wanting to be on or whatnot, which I'm like, this is like, the fact that you can take the time to do that kind of stuff like means a lot,
He's very professional.
He really is. And then of course when you reached out, especially given the conversation I had with Sean or whatnot, like it had to happen. Like there was no way I was going to deny you an opportunity on this podcast. All right.
It'd be like Midmortis. What's Midmortis anyways? Moving on. You'll never know.
No, luckily I did. At least
I was very flattered that Sean even mentioned Midmortis and said such nice things about it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I wanted to make sure that we brought it up. I think that was something that I think he even mentioned wanting to bring up whenever we were getting set up.
It is his only sort of deal in the indie sphere as of right now.
For the time being.
As you guys talked about, yeah, he's more music, and he's been trying very hard to find a similar way to involve music, but apparently the indie music sphere is very different.
I've been able to see both sides of that coin or whatnot, both indie animation and indie music, like to a certain extent or whatnot. Yeah, I can see how it's a little bit different with how they go about their path compared to, indie animation, how much more of a community we tend to be and how.
But I've been seeing your stuff for ages. The first thing that caught my attention was that all the thumbnails were done by the artists.
Yes.
And that you were getting some of my like actual heroes and like people I looked up to a ton, and just casually like, oh yeah, they're there. And I'm like, what? Like Brock Baker, hello? Will Wood?
That one. That was a recommendation from my co-showrunners, TipsyJHearts. She told me, hey, you need to email this guy and see if you can get him on the podcast. Because believe it or not, I had never heard about him before Tipsy told me about him.
Really?
Yes. And now I'm like one of his biggest fans because I cannot get enough of his music and such.
I saw him in like an animation and I was like, oh my god, this budding musician. And then everybody I know is obsessed with him.
Yes.
And then it's just like other people like, just the other shows I know of, like Capapon. I'm like, hey, I
Yep.
know those guys.
Yep.
Hey, I know those guys.
The Capapons, the Show Twosies, Dungeon
That's
Flippers,
why I
all
keep
that
joking.
stuff.
All the cool kids are on Postmodern.
Well, now you're one of the cool kids, so there you go.
I'm in the cool kids club.
Sincerely though, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. This is gonna be an
Thank
absolute
you.
blast.
Are you kidding?
No,
It's an
thank
honor
you.
to be here. No, thank you.
Sincerely, it's really gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be a good conversation. I feel like it's gonna be a blast because if nothing else, like Midmortis, I know there's a lot you want to talk about when it comes to that. So.
Oh, I love talking about my little dudes.
Good, because there seems to be something fun brewing with that, and I want to know more. All right.
Oh, I'm so excited. And then afterwards, I can give you all the cool stuff.
Ayo.
Even stuff I haven't posted anywhere else.
Ayo.
Nice. I'm just bad about posting it. We've got like cleaned up clips. We've got
okay.
things that aren't supposed to come out for forever that like Sean forced me at gunpoint to make.
Okay.
Because he wants to make all this ridiculous shit. He wants there to be an official short where they play Gmod the entire time. Like prop hunt.
That makes too much sense. That makes way too much sense getting how it looks like set
and
up.
And it's just in the voices. And we make like PNG tubers for them. I was like, why the hell not?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, because like that's honestly, now that you say that, that's honestly really easy to set up. Like more, like especially if that one, if you do get a chance to, I don't know if you've already done that or not. If you have,
no, he just keeps entertaining it.
I will say after like the first short like drops or whatnot, like screw it, just do that as like a official like bonus thing or whatnot to keep people coming back.
That was the plan.
There you go. Well, now we have more of a plan. All right, Meng. Before we really do get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast, if I may. Let's say you get to go to a deserted island on your own accord. It's just you alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get to really enjoy yourself for a little bit. With accommodations. I shouldn't say deserted island, more like a personal B&B paradise away from society just for a little bit. To make sure you don't go completely insane on this island, you can bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help with whatever kind of headspace you want on this island. If given this opportunity, what would that one piece be?
Great question.
Mm-hmm.
My immediate thought was I've been watching a ton of movies lately.
Okay.
And the one I'm the most excited to see is my favorite of all time, The Iron Giant.
Ooh, that's a good
It's short, but I could watch that back to back over and over again. It never gets old for me.
I mean, especially like the story of it more than anything else. Like,
so cute.
Okay.
I got a bunch of figures and stuff from it, but yeah, the Iron Giant. It's just comfy, it's homey, but it's happy.
Yeah, I do gotta ask right off the bat, just out of curiosity, what's your favorite moment from that film? Because there's a bunch of good moments from it.
My favorite moment is actually, does it count if it's a deleted scene?
Yeah, absolutely, it can count if it's a deleted scene.
There's a deleted scene where he's having a nightmare about what it was like on his planet, and it starts getting broadcasted through Dean's TV in the junkyard. And it lets you see sort of like his lore and where he's from and what he was sent to Earth to do. And then he wakes up and the TV turns off. That's my favorite scene. I wish it got into the movie so bad.
It's that little like tiny ounce of like a lore drop that we would appreciate. Like, not obviously the film is a great film on its own, but that little bit of a lore drop would have been like a nice little cherry on top of the cake, you know?
Yeah, sort of gives an explanation. I mean, the ending still does sort of communicate what happened well. Other than that, probably the power station, because the whole movie takes place in a town that's very similar to where I live.
Oh, I gotcha.
And that part especially, it's like, oh man, that could be in Ontario, anywhere.
But regardless, the Iron Giant, that is your answer. You're locking that in.
Locking in. Final answer.
Then if that's the case, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome everyone, I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You would look fantastic in the merch we have at the merch shop, fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. And follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and most social media platforms at Postmod Art Pod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guest. She is an illustrator, animator, and director with a devotion for storytelling, leading the charge on the upcoming indie animated series, Midmortis. Welcome to the podcast, Meg Boudreau!
Hi!
How you doing today,
Aw,
Meng?
that's an amazing intro. I'm
I
doing great.
Hey, I try to do what I can to hype up the guest more than anything else because I mean, given what you've been able to provide so far, you deserve that hype, not just for
Oh,
this conversation, but for the audience out there watching.
I love it. You've got a hell of a voice for radio.
Well, thank you, thank you. Trust me, I'm trying to get into voice acting. I have my demo reel on my socials and all that kind of stuff. So
Oh,
yeah,
well,
yeah. Just
keep your eyes open for our casting calls because we always need more people.
Of course, like always, I will definitely be keeping my eye on that. But speaking of what you guys are doing, it's I from what I said in the intro, Midmortis is a series that luckily our good friend and former guest of the podcast, Sean Poole, introduced me to. And seeing what you've been able to even like conjure up with that, what little bit is out there, I am so intrigued with like just the creative ideas that are flowing out just from that alone. And I cannot wait to discuss all about that kind of stuff. But before we talk about the stuff you're doing nowadays, I want to go back just a little bit and learn more or less the origin story of Meng. What got you interested in art and animation and stuff in the first place?
I've been drawing pretty much since I could hold a pencil in my hand.
Okay.
It's pretty much been the only thing I've put all my life's focus into since as long as I can remember. I don't exactly remember what got me into making media. Oh, actually, I think I can.
Okay.
When I was really little, it was dragons. I wanted to draw dragons, but
Okay.
that was sort of just what I filled sketchbooks with at school. What made me want to create projects and share them with the world was Ed's World, because I watched
Uh,
that as a kid, and it inspired me so much to see somebody who didn't have studio grade skills, equipment, voice actors, and he was still making something that people liked enough to watch, get merch of, make fan art of. Like it people treated it like a real show.
yeah.
And back in like 2010, that blew my mind. The fact that some random dude could make a real cartoon.
I mean,
So I
especially
immediately was like, I want to do that.
especially with that show, like obviously, like I said, it's not like the it's not top studio quality animation or anything like that. But at the same time, like the story that they were telling, the characters that they put out there, whatnot, the fact that it was just a good fun time anytime you tuned into the episode, and the fact that it gained such a following, like I can understand why younger Meng was like mind explosion. Um,
Yep. I immediately was like, I need a tablet so I can make me and my friends into real cartoon
there
characters.
you go. It's always a good mentality to have more than anything else. When did it for you go from like just that love and appreciation, obviously to start with Ed's World kind of opening your mind to that, to a passion and wanting to make it your career? Like when did you more or less take that step from like, hey, I could potentially do this, to hey, I'm an animator now, I'm an illustrator now, I could do this?
Honestly, I feel like it was almost the other way around,
Oh.
where I learned about a career as being an animator, obviously, first from watching movies and stuff. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I want to do that. That sounds like the least jobby job ever. Basically, like, I get to draw and get paid for it. Oh my God.
Right.
And I thought I would have to wait until I was a grown up in a studio to be able to make anything worthwhile like Ed's World. And it was actually the opposite, where I had to learn that, oh, I don't need to wait until I graduate art school, I get into a studio, I'm all grown up, I can do that now. It
Okay.
doesn't need to be great, but I can start doing that now.
Yeah, I mean, especially at that point when even though it wasn't like the big boom of indie animation that we have these days, there was still so many materials and so many like sources that you could go to really get started on that more than anything else. Like really get your foot in the door and just start drawing more than anything else.
Oh yeah.
I would say, do you remember some of the early ideas or some of the early drawings or whatnot that kind of gave you that creative drive of wanting to go down that path?
Well, I used to draw a lot of the same, like I have sketchbooks full of the same thing over and over again,
Okay.
like the same dragon head from the side 46 times. But then I'd make them little names. I'd play
Okay.
on Roblox and like make a character in a game and be like, this is my OC. And then I'd draw like cruddy comics of them with just a pencil and paper. Then I'd like staple them all together and give it to my dad, like, I made you a comic, or like my teacher or
Nice.
something.
Uh,
Or a lot of my early sketchbooks are filled with Ed's World fan art, where it's just
obviously.
like oh, this is Tom all sad. Oh, this is a scene from one of the episodes I like. Oh, this is my character if they were in Ed's world.
Holy crap, Meng in Ed's world? What? Huh?
My God, Ed's world was like so integral to my artistic identity because it was just so encouraging to like, oh, you don't need to be crazy good. You can just
You can
do
just
it
be
from the
crazy.
heart. And that's good enough, damn it. And yeah, you can just be crazy.
Yeah, I was like, you don't have to be crazy good. You can just be crazy. No,
Every artist is crazy.
yeah,
It's
just
a
a little bit.
prerequisite.
It's kind of one of those. There's that threshold that you need to hit. If you're not this level of crazy, you might as well go into a medical field. You'll probably fare better.
Yeah. No, but yes.
Yes, but no. 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 In all seriousness, like it's great to hear that. Like that had like again a very strong foundation. Again, given just the legacy of that show. No pun intended. Given Ed's World legacy more than anything else. But like
Yeah.
seriously, like the legacy of that show and the fact that it's despite everything, especially when it comes to Ed and all that stuff like that, the fact that it's still going to this day and they're still making like new content based off of it, like that's
Right.
that shows you like how much of a powerhouse like that little animation animated show that inspired you really shows how much it can truly last if that creativity and love is there. It
And
does.
of course, it was always reassuring to see just an artist doing what they do and having people take it seriously because people did not take me seriously in grade school because I drew. They did not like it. They thought it was lame as hell.
Well, I mean, I think everyone has that first when the kid is like really tiny. A lot of adults, at least in like our age or whatnot, they have that thought of like, oh, it's nice you're doing that art stuff, but it's not gonna make you money more than anything else.
Actually, my parents were surprisingly supportive of it. They've always been super
Okay.
supportive of it, especially my dad. My dad was actually, so when I was in high school, my very first official project that I actually put out into the world was a comic book that I made in high school called Neomyth.
Right. I saw hints of that as I was doing my research. I was definitely going to be asking about
Oh,
that.
you did research.
Of course I did research.
People perceive me when I'm not there. That's crazy. Yes, Neomyth was my first baby. It was, to put it in very simple terms, it's very similar to X-Men. I still make it.
Okay.
It's just all new and shiny, and I'm a grown-up now, so it's a little better. But it's people live in a world with powers, and the humans don't like the people with the powers, and they fight. But my dad was very, very encouraging when he thought I wanted to make a comic because he is a total Marvel and DC fanboy. Fanatic.
I got you.
Obsessed. Comic books are everything to him. So when I said I wanted to make one, he was like, yay! And he started up a Kickstarter for me. He found somebody who was going to print and publish the comic for us. And he's just like, you make the art, I'll take care of everything else. And then I had a comic. I registered with some government on Ontario. I made like a business.
Wow.
We did a Kickstarter and sold like 100 copies.
Nice.
And I still have one somewhere in my house. But yeah, that was like super. It was encouraging and also a lot of pressure for a high school.
Oh no, absolutely, because it's like you're a high school. You're already dealing with a lot of pressure as is, just dealing with school in general and like grades.
But it was really cool because like serious art. I had like the guidance counselor would buy my comics. My math teacher bought my comics, and it was really cool to like have people take it seriously when my classmates were like, "Oh, are you drawing?" And like,
yeah. No, I mean that's the thing. Like again, like I'm not saying that was directly your parents. I was saying like there's a lot of people, whether it be our peers or adults in general, that were just straight up like, oh, that's cute. It's a nice little hobby.
The kids were very nasty about the art. They'd like, I'd be drawing on my desk alone, and they'd like hit my hands so that I'd screw something up with the marker or something.
No, I get that. But the fact that, like, that love persisted to the point to where, again, in high school, you had a Kickstarter for a comic that actually sold a few issues, which is not nothing. That is impressive at the end of the day. And like I said, I saw, like, little hints of you talking about Neomyth or whatnot, and I wanted to learn more about it. So, like, I'm curious, again, for those like myself who had never heard about this comic in the first place or whatnot, how would you describe Neomyth past the, basically, X-Men's but not?
It's very much a heavy allegory for internalized homophobia and how coming to terms with who you are after being told that it's not something you should be proud of and it's shameful and bad your whole life is really hard, but not impossible.
Right.
And, you know, loving everything about yourself is a kindness you owe yourself, especially in a world trying to convince you otherwise.
Absolutely. Seems to me like this is a very close and personal story to you. I don't know if that's something I'm just reading a little too in between the lines about.
Honestly, no, which is part of what makes it so interesting to write. I get to
Right.
learn from other people's experiences
Okay.
and sort of become more learned myself. But at the same time, it does hit close to things that I watched my friends and family go through.
Right.
Um, yeah, and then putting it through obviously the cool fantasy lens that makes it into a cool, subtle metaphor.
Right, right. Cool, subtle, barely there, but also extremely there.
Right there in your face.
Right there in your face. What was the inspiration for Neo Myth in the first place, if I may ask?
It was one of the first stories I ever wrote. It was a role play with my friend on an online forum.
Okay.
Where he would play half the characters, I would play the other half, and we're like, let's just let them loose in a world and see what happens. And then when we got a semi-usable story, I took it and I was like, I'm gonna make it into a comic, and then I'll let you read it. And then, like, 10 years passed, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna drop 80% of the cast, rewrite the story, let's try this again, now that I know how to write.
Right, right, right. No, it's cool that, like, again, especially in the online space where, you know, role playing and stuff like that can make storytelling like unlock something in you to the point to where you're able to take it and put it into physical form with like this comic or whatnot. Like,
oh yeah,
that it does also lead me to wonder because, like, you know, I imagine that may be an aspect of why you love, you know, storytelling in the first place, like kind of that thing. What is it about storytelling that like makes you like creatively drives you, I guess is the proper way to word it?
I want people to think of my characters the way that I do.
Okay.
Which is just caring about them a lot and caring about the intricacies of their life and what makes them people, not characters. You know, like those sort of little details. I also am very, very passionate about telling stories that the person that I would write that role play with, he was a gay guy, and seeing gay characters in media would just make him over the moon. Anybody in media that he could relate to that he normally didn't see would make him so happy, and seeing how that affected him made me realize how important writing characters for people to see themselves through really was.
Okay.
And it became a huge passion of mine because, like, who wouldn't want to make people happy like that?
Exactly. No, especially in today's day and age, to where it's so easy for people to be discouraged or whatnot. Like having that little bit of representation that can make a person's day, or having that little like bit of storytelling that a person can easily latch onto and be like, I understand what this going to. That could change anyone's mood in a heartbeat, like legitimately.
Oh yeah.
So
having your little precious character to cling on to and make half of your identity. I know how important it is because I did it all the time. So the thought that maybe somebody could see my character that way is like, aw.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Is it that storytelling element as well as, I assume, the previous influence of Ed's world and stuff? Did that make you want to go down the path of animation? Like, what was it about animation that made you want to, like...
The path of animation was, well, I had always been like, oh, cartoons are, like, the coolest, because, you know, there's the sound, the visuals, the movement, it's all together, it's the most... It's a lot for an experience. You get to convey so much about it, because there's so many intricacies in the soundtrack, the voice acting, everything that can really make the world feel all the more expansive and real, and you can slip in so many details, because I've always been really passionate about the little details.
Right.
But Midmortis, just like Neomyth, started as a little roleplay with my friends.
Oh,
and
okay.
I was like, they were in a totally different story. It was more like superheroes and stuff, just some random things. And then one day, my friends wanted to do like a crossover with all of our characters.
Interesting.
And I was like, well, I want to use those guys, Phoebus, Hugo, and Salem, but they don't really fit in the content they're from. So maybe I'll make a new story. I've never done anything supernatural before. What if I did ghosts?
Okay. Okay. Was that really more or less the impetus of Midmortis or what?
It was just like throwaway idea. I'll make ghosts. I've never tried it before. What the hell? It was totally an accident that I ended up clinging to it, and I was like, oh, but wouldn't it be funny if it was really cheesy? And I did this and this and this, like sort of trying to like play pretend at a cartoon.
Hey, you know what? You play pretend, but here you are actually making it a legitimate real cartoon.
Yeah.
More than anything else. And I mean, at this point, we've already started talking about it. I might as well make the big proper announcement, more or less. Like I said in the intro, you are the person that is the creator, director, and Lord knows how many of the different roles or whatnot for the upcoming indie animated series, Midmortis. So we kind of already have the impetus of it more than anything else, of how we got it to be. I don't know if you want to go more in detail with that, but at the very least, for those that may have never even heard of Midmortis, how would you describe this intriguing concept?
Intriguing, but very simple. Take the 3 dumbest guys you know and go force them to hunt ghosts to pay their bills. See what happens.
So basically, if Trailer Park Boys became Ghostbusters.
I guess.
Like, the way you're describing it, like, take the dumbest people you know, make them ghost hunters. Like, that... I think dumbest people, and I think Trailer Park Boys. That's just my little link more than anything else.
Hell yeah.
You've already illustrated more or less, like, what was the... kind of the start of it, or at least like the first little flame of it, and that was, you know, the role playing stuff that lets your friend be like, let's cross over these characters, and you taking the 3 to the side, be like, you know what, I'm gonna do something with ghosts. How did you cling on to that idea and develop it to this point to where, again, you're making a like animated series based off of this random throwaway idea?
Again, a lot of pretending. I like ghosts. My favorite game is Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube. So I was like, I'm totally doing that flavor of ghosts.
Okay.
And then I realized how well the characters seem to work with that concept if I just made some little tweaks here and there to their personalities. And it was really a snowball. It got rolling. And I was like, if it was a cartoon, I would have the chance to put this thing that I've always liked from this cartoon I saw growing up. And like, oh, I could make it take place in this time so that it's like Invader Zim and they could all be scene kids.
There
and
you go.
I'll use this concept from Randy Cunningham because I liked it. And I'll use this humor. It was just sort of like I picked and chose what I liked from every cartoon I'd seen growing up. And I was like, okay, I'm keeping this now.
Pretty sure I'm pretty sure some people will describe their art style being kind of the same way, picking and choosing stuff from that they like and kind of blending it together to this weird amalgamation of beauty that you're putting out there into the world.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of small moments of what would be really funny in this cartoon. If it were a real cartoon, what would I do here? Wouldn't it be funny if they had an episode where they got body swapped or something, or like. Right. Just indulging in a bunch of what ifs until it wasn't a what if anymore.
Well, I was going to say, when did it go from what if to what the hell we're doing this?
I honestly can't remember. I just remember one day I was like, wow, I have everything. Because for school assignments, they're like, you can use your own characters. And I was like, how perfect. Because that's all I want to do. So for a bunch of school assignments, I made turnarounds, backgrounds, environments, props. And I realized I had everything for a pre-production of a cartoon. And I was like, oh, I could just start making it now. What the hell? Why not? Let's go.
I think what you just described right there is probably one of the rarest cases on this podcast where someone is able to say, yeah, school is the reason why I was able to make my animated film, my animated series.
My teachers were very nice. They cared quite deeply about my little characters, which was super encouraging to make me want to go all out on my school assignments. And then I was like, oh, here's a turnaround that I can use. Oh, a character model sheet. Oh, now I know what the inside of their van looks like, or this shop or whatever.
No, that's honestly extremely valid. And to be fair, I can see why your professors and such would want to really care about these characters. Because honestly, like the characters that you've been able to present so far or whatnot, I love these gullible bastards more than anything else. Like they're so silly. I love them. As you mentioned before, the main 3 being Hugo, Phoebus, I believe is how you pronounce it, Phoebus, and the Salem. The big power three. What was the inspiration behind the characters? Why are they the ones that we're focusing in on when it comes to this series?
Well, I just wanted a balance for the characters. So, you need the funny one because it's a comedy show. They're all funny because they're all stupid. But the funny one was Hugo. He was a character that I thought paired very well with Salem being a sort of uncle figure. But originally in the story I wrote, he was with Phoebus because he was just supposed to be a more reassuring figure in his life. They were based off of Hugo and Phoebus were based off of two characters from one of my favorite books at the time.
Okay, what's the book? If I may ask?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Hugo is based off of McMurphy.
Okay, that's a good little inspiration more than anything else.
So the whole trying to cheer up really grumpy people comes from the fact that he was sort of like the light in the ward in that book.
Okay.
And I liked how those two worked together as friends of this guy hates everything and this guy is the only one who that doesn't seem to bother. And Salem and Phoebus I thought would be really funny as a sort of SpongeBob Squidward dynamic where Salem wants to be around Phoebus all the time and Phoebus could not be more sick of the guy. Like please go away, leave me alone. How am I being haunted by somebody who hasn't even died yet?
Right. It's like
so a lot of the early Midmortis interactions were just jokes about how much they disliked each other.
I like how you have Phoebus in this situation just kind of being like the grumpy bastard like in the driver's seat or whatnot. Meanwhile, you got Hugo and Salem just being like, and we're the three best friends that anyone could have. We're the three best friends that anyone could have.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Also, I gotta say, it's very interesting that again, you have these three people being basically Ghostbusters. One of them actually being a ghost, doing the ghost busting.
Class traitor. He's a class traitor. I don't even remember how that happened. I just thought I just killed him.
You just
because in the original lineup for the beta characters, all three of them are alive, and then I have the next file. I don't remember the thought process. It was almost 5 years ago at this point.
Okay.
And then in the next picture, it's the same lineup, but he's a ghost now. So I killed him.
You just decided.
Guess I thought that would be more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly does, because it kind of leads to the whole entire, how are the ghosts going to react to a ghost hunting down their kind more than anything else? That's got to be an interesting dynamic. Traitor. Yeah, class traitor more than anything else. It's
But then again, they're only hunting down bad ghosts. Well, it's
obviously.
Why would a human hunt down a human?
Yeah.
He's a bad human.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, that's why we have bounty hunters for a thing.
Exactly. He's just a bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's too badass of a title for him.
He's a bounty hugger. How about that?
Honestly, yes.
Because I could definitely wow, words come back to me. I had them, then I lost it. No, I can certainly tell, at least from the little bit we have been able to see, that Hugo does seem like the cuddly teddy bear that a ghost could be. At the very least.
He's very sweet, very nice. I rewrote McMurphy to be nicer than he was. It was just I'm going to take McMurphy, I'm going to fix him to how I like him a little. Make him nicer and more polite to women.
Yeah. That's a good point right there. It was a product of its time. Let's be honest with ourselves. Yeah. Anyways, no, but it's really cool that you have even the little dynamics, not just with each other, but especially with this environment, this world that you're really bringing the storytelling to.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. Again, there's not really a whole lot out there, but for those that are curious, how would you describe the world of Midmortis? Because this seems like a very unique place where obviously there's a need for ghost hunter or ghostbusters or whatnot.
Well, they live in rural Ontario, Canada, about near where my cottage is in real life.
Oh, interesting.
Because every time I went to my cottage, I thought that it was the most backwoods, Gravity Falls, I'm going to find a cryptid in the woods place in the world. And when I was younger, I kept trying to sort of I want to go on an adventure. I want to find a ghost. I want to find the Loch Ness Monster or something like that. So when I started writing Midmortis, I think I was actually already up there, and I was like, yeah, something could happen here, so I'll make it happen here.
Okay.
Just feels small town. It feels, weird. And again, the Gravity Falls vibes were very strong, so I was like, it worked before, it'll work again.
Yeah.
Ghosts exist in the world, but no random Joe Blow on the street can see them.
Right.
They're invisible. So the only reason that these three become ghost hunters is because they can all see ghosts.
As we can tell by the fact that they can see their
tiniest
buddy.
advantage. That's it. That's their only advantage. They don't know. Well, Salem knows everything about ghosts, which is why he proves useful. He is totally hyperfixated on them. He knows everything about them. He wants to start his own ghost hunting show, YouTube channel, like caught on 3 a.m. real.
Did you see it? Oh my gosh. Did you see it?
Did you see it? And like he's convinced himself that there's the ghost haunting the school, and this is all before he can even see ghosts. He's just such a believer. And then he gets proved right and becomes 8 times more annoying than he already was about it.
And honestly, like the way that you described that or whatnot, that does leave really well into what's expected to be the pilot, or at least the first episode, which I saw you guys are calling Seeing Clearly, about a boy trying to convince his friends that ghosts are actually a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I imagine like just having that being more or less the first step for you guys or whatnot. That has to be, I mean, that sets the standard for, like you had said, like in this world where not everyone can exactly see ghosts, but you have these 3 bumbling idiots that are able to do it and somehow trying to, I'm assuming, helping the boy convince his friends that, hey, ghosts are actually a thing.
You'd be surprised. By the time the first episode starts, Phoebus and Salem are strangers.
Oh.
And Salem doesn't know Hugo exists.
Interesting.
He convinces himself that Phoebus is a serial killer, because why else would he walk around talking to himself all the time and look like that? So he convinces his friends that along ghost hunting, he wants to find cryptids, and true crime is apparently his new hobby. So he's trying to find if Phoebus is a murderer so that he can post it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I didn't...
And then when he gets the inkling that Phoebus might not be a serial killer, but rather haunted, his fixation completely takes over, and now he will not leave the guy alone until he gets proof.
Okay, so this isn't the 3 friends are helping someone. This is how the 3 friends became the 3 friends in the first place.
How they meet, yes.
Okay.
Reluctantly friends.
I will say, I love how you're like, oh yeah, and true crime's in there for some reason, which, let's be honest, like, especially with how true crime is these days, they'll do anything to try to blend it with any genre to keep it relevant at the end of the day.
Just a kid. He's like, if it's spooky and weird, he likes it.
I can tell. What is, and I love how... was at one point you had mentioned, like, at least with you or whatnot, like at one point you're like, I want to see the Loch Ness Monster. I think you're I love the spirit, I love the hustle, but I think you're a little far away from where the Loch Ness Monster is supposed to be. I think there's like another ocean in between you seeing that monster.
No, in Canada we have Ogopogo.
Ogopogo? I have not heard of Ogopogo.
The same thing, different font.
Same thing, different font. Oh goodness. I didn't realize that, like, obviously I know you said that, for you, this is you wanting to tinker with the supernatural elements. I didn't realize how much of a love for the supernatural stuff you had going into this. Like, how much of a supernatural
And
fan...
I didn't realize either.
Oh, okay.
Until it started popping up everywhere, and I was like, gosh, I've been such a huge fan of this genre, and I had never really paid it any mind until now. Okay. But I've got this whole artillery of knowledge and media I can draw inspiration from. I was pleasantly surprised, and that's what helped that snowball get rolling, where I'm like, oh, I could do this, I could do that.
Okay. No, I didn't realize which one came hand in hand. I didn't know if it's like, you've always had that love for supernatural that eventually was like, you know what, I have this love for it, why not just make a story about it? But no, it's really interesting to hear that, like, it was you starting the story that made you realize, oh wait, I've kind of always just liked this stuff. Why
anything weird. Salem is very much supposed to be a refraction of my younger self.
Okay.
What I wanted to be, what I thought was real and not real, and how enthusiastic I got about the weird stuff.
Yep, the classic I want to believe personality at the end of the day.
Yes, and the classic, the ever relatable, oh, I'm the weird kid and no one likes me for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, trust me, I had that vibe growing up. I had that vibe in high school as well.
Most everybody I've met and who works on the show has that vibe, so
Which I'm
I'm
glad.
thankful that Salem can be that little weird kid rep for all of us.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that up because that was my next point that I wanted to bring on. Like, not only are you developing a really interesting idea, you have a really good crew, like, coming in behind it. I mean, I've already mentioned, like, the fact that, two of the former guests of this podcast, Sean Poole and Show Tuesday, have very significant parts in this animated film. Like, it's got to be really cool that, like, not only this idea that snowballed, from, again, random RP experience, it's gotta be really cool that, like, that's evolved to this point. You have a very talented crew behind you helping out to, like, tell this story and bring it to fruition.
I've been in disbelief for the past 5 years, and I think I will continue to be in disbelief that people care enough about my characters to want to help me bring the vision to life, that they want to pitch forward their own ideas, that they want to dedicate their time to making it look the best it can be. There are not words in our language to describe how grateful I am that people care about something I've made, because I didn't have that.
Absolutely.
Neomyth, the Kickstarter, yeah, but it was mostly my family showing support for their niece or
Right.
their granddaughter. But having people who actually want to know more about my story and want to contribute to it is something that I didn't have at all growing up for however many stories I did want to make and did make.
Right.
So it's like, oh, we did it. It's just the best feeling in the world. And the fact that it's, my brother is one of the animators.
Right.
My girlfriend is a voice actor and storyboard artist. My dad came up with the idea for the first episode and wrote most of the jokes in it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, like my whole world has involvement in Midmortis, and because of that, Midmortis has become my whole world.
That is incredible to hear more than anything else. That love and support behind it. Like, I know you kind of illustrated it earlier with the how Neomyth came to be or whatnot, but, like, even to this point, it's really cool to hear that there's so much love and support for this fun, silly little idea that you're putting out there into the world. Like, I can see.
Right?
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it really makes me, no matter what's going on in the businessy side of art, and however many careers seem to be in jeopardy because of the situation of animation right now,
Oh,
it
yeah.
keeps me absolutely in love with what I do and makes me so happy to be an artist.
And I imagine that leads you really excited to actually get Midmortis out there and see how many more people can potentially, like, love and cling on to this, again, fun, unique
Very
idea
much.
that you've been developing or whatnot. And I will say, speaking of your cast and crew, there was one question that I wanted to ask based on the previous interview that I've had with our good buddy Sean Poole and whatnot. What made you eventually dead set on having him voice the character of Phoebus?
So, I had met him as a friend of my girlfriend's.
Okay.
And she introduced him to me as a voice actor because he did funny impressions in Call and had characters that he made voices for that they did together.
Mm-hmm.
And I originally wanted him on a different project of mine, but when I was thinking of who I would have voice Phoebus, because Phoebus is my personal favorite character, I was very, very picky. And it was my girlfriend who suggested, what if it's Sean? I think his voice would fit. So we screwed around with it in Call, and then, of course, as soon as he was able to put a voice to my character, I just went over the moon because, like, oh my god, he's talking! My character speaks! I think he was the first voice actor cast for the entire show.
Okay.
Because I sort of gave him, I was like, what do you think he'd sound like? And it was a very easy process of, I think he'd sound like he did the voice, and I was like, oh my god, that's perfect.
It was literally that moment of you being Frankenstein, being like, "It's alive!
It's alive!" Literally. The animation is one thing, but for me, it's the voices that were like, they can say anything they want. They're alive. They're living now.
Yeah. No, it's always that, like, because obviously when it comes to the animation aspect, like, you're seeing these same frames, like, over and over and over again, like,
Yes,
all the drawing and stuff like that. And, like, when it's complete, you're obviously relieved more for the fact that you got it done than, oh my god, I got this thing moving. Like, you're just glad that, like, it's done,
Yep.
it's out there, people can see it, and they can react however they want. Like, you did your time. But when the voices come in, more than anything else. It's that singular like neuron activated moment of like, oh, this is legit. This is the thing.
Yeah. They can speak. They could say, you know, like, I can't control what my voice actors do, therefore Phoebus can say whatever he wants, therefore he's alive.
Phoebus can say the fuck word.
And oh my god, he does. It's not Vibsy Pop level, but he likes to cuss.
Hey, you know what? If it's if it's comfortable for Sean to say it, I'm not denying it. Because like after a while, yeah, it's
he'll do the stupidest bits. Like the 3 voice actors for the main characters, if they're in call together, it doesn't matter if we're even talking about Midmortis. By the way, we could be playing video games together, and they'll randomly start doing the voices and make up some random skit. Sometimes we record them. I don't know if I have any on my computer, but if they're funny, we start recording them to like see if we want to animate it later.
Yeah, make it like a nice little like fun clip for you guys like later on more than anything else.
Oh god, some of them are funny. Or like one of my the voice actor for Salem got really, I think, drunk and just started recording something and as Salem and sent it to me at like 3 a.m. one day. So I animated it. It's really funny. It was something about how to use a microwave.
What?
Just in the Salem voice.
I was gonna say, I'm curious on the inspiration, but like you said, they were drunk, 3 a.m. in the morning. That makes sense.
There was that was divine inspiration.
that was whatever suppressed memory Salem had in the back of their head.
My in-canon reason is that he stayed up way too late. He's sleep deprived.
No, really.
No.
I know, like, again, it came
very
back.
fun.
No, I can only imagine. Like, it sounds like this is going to be something that's absolutely fun whenever it gets the opportunity to get out there. Not only because, again, the concept itself is just a fun idea, but, like, hearing that there's so much love when it comes to the cast and crew, and especially, like, the fun that could be had with, like, this fun little scenario, like, it leads me to ask, like, when the opportunity does come, when you guys are ready to unleash Midmortis onto the world, what should they expect?
Above all, hopefully just a good time. Just something you can watch and laugh and be like, oh my god, that was really cool. And it sort of like lifts your spirits. Haha, pun intended. But I hope that they can tell that we had fun making it, because making it is almost as fun as it's going to be to see other people watch it.
Absolutely.
You know, we have so much fun learning the processes, and these people are like, some people I didn't even know before they came to me, and they're like, can I work on your show? And now it's like, man, you're my family. We're homies. We're brothers in arms.
I mean, I think that last little bit alone is a good sentiment of not just like the love that you have like for this project, but just the love that comes with the indie animation community, like as a whole. I mean, you've had a chance to experience that on both ends as well, not only with you creating Midmortis, but working on a couple of indie animated projects yourself, most significantly being able to help out with, again, another former guest of the podcast, with Dungeon Flippers.
That was so fun.
Yeah,
Travis was so nice, and I am so honored he gave me the opportunity, because that was like my first indie gig ever.
Really?
Much less for the show that I'd been like super fanning from the sidelines for the longest time. And then he's like, come on.
And especially with a show as creative and vibrant as that one, being able to even like
it's so cute.
Being able to play around in that sandbox for just a little bit, that had to be, and like you said, for your first like indie animation gig, that had to be a surreal experience more than anything else.
It was, and it still is. Like, I look back on it and I get to tell people like, I worked on Dungeon Flippers, and they're like, really? Yep. And then I feel cool. Like, man, that's why I do it. To feel cool.
Exactly. And I imagine, especially like the more you get a chance to do this kind of stuff with other indie animated projects or with Midmortis, like it just has to be like so cool and so surreal to think like the thing that you had started off doing, like just drawing or just having this like little fun, has grown to this point to where you're about to, well, not about to, there's still a good bit to go when it comes to the production aspect, but like you're on the road to putting out something incredibly cool and something that you could proudly say, hey, this is mine. This is something that me and my incredible crew did. Like, look at what we did.
Right? I'm still like, how did we get here? I'm happy about it, but how did I get here?
You may ask yourself,
It's just,
how did I get here? Letting the days go by. Sorry.
but at the same time, it feels like I've been doing this my whole life. Like
Right.
I've been working on Midmortis my whole life. It's everything I've thought about for the past 5 years and more.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
It's my greatest comfort. It's my biggest hyperfixation. I can't, like, never mind the fact that, like, I'd be grateful for fans, but, like, the merch I make, that's for me.
Oh, yeah,
The fan
absolutely.
art, that's for me. I am my own biggest fan first. I am my own fandom.
I will say, a little side tangent. I did see the personal merch shop that you made for on Fourth Wall or whatnot. There are some really cool designs. That the instant I have some like throwaway money that I could have, I want to get that the cat one, the skateboarding totally tubular cat button up shirt or whatnot.
Midmortis merch. That's just the stuff I make for fun. No, the Midmortis merch is free.
I saw the Midmortis merch, and that stuff's obviously really cool. I'm gonna be getting like a sticker and like the stuff to go with that. And again, I'm gonna make sure to have that. Like I was talking about, like I said, the personal stuff, seeing the personal designs that you've been able to have or whatnot.
Yes, my personal designs.
Yeah, which again, like I said,
I'm very fashion. I like dressing.
I could tell, and like I said, look, I appreciate your fashion. Again, whenever I get a little bit of money saved up or whatnot, I want to get that totally tubular button-up shirt because that looks like
I do too.
That looks like.
I don't have enough money for it either, if it makes you feel any better.
That's valid. Although I don't.
It's pricey.
Well, I was gonna say I don't know if you know this, but at least with Fourth Wall, you can order samples of it, and like it cuts off like a good chunk of the price, so you're not paying like the full 35 that's listed on the price.
I'm Canadian though, so like my money's worth nothing. I ordered the shorts. They're pretty cute. They are in my like current rotation in my wardrobe.
Right.
But they were like $50.
Yeah, no, trust me. I'm just saying it'd be a lot cheaper than if you were to go straight to the site and then pay all the shipping and handling stuff. But no,
then get my own money back from myself in how does that work?
In a cosmic sort of way, yes. But no, regardless, like when it comes to like those cool designs, but especially like the Midmortis like merch that you have, like again, the designs you have up, those are just I feel like that's only the tip of the iceberg with some of the cool stuff you can potentially have.
There's stuff I'm holding off from putting out. So basically, because Midmortis is a volunteer-run production, none of the merch will be sold for money because, why should I get anything?
Okay.
And it makes it more accessible for everybody else to make their own things. So I just upload files.
Okay.
Like, oh, here's the files for making stickers. Here's the file for printing off a poster. And when I start getting to the cool stuff, I have files to 3D print figures of the characters. And maybe I'll make a plushie pattern. Okay. But all the stuff you make yourself so that, don't give me anything. I'm just honored to the fact that you would want to carry my characters around, I wouldn't make you pay for that.
No, honestly, that's extremely valid at the end of the day. It's unique, though. I don't think I've really heard many, like, indie creators or any animation creators, like, going down that kind of path. So it's interesting to hear you going down that path, but it's also really cool to know that, like, you care about the audience enough to be like, I just want you guys to have the stuff. Here it is. Like, you guys need to, there's a little legwork on your guys'.
I'm making it for myself anyways. I might as well give it to someone. Like, the stickers, that's for me.
There you go.
I got a button maker in my craft room. I'll just make myself buttons. I've got a whole bag, an Eda bag full like Midmortis themed things. I've got pins. I've got little perler beads, all this stuff.
If anyone out there claims to be the #1 Midmortis fan, Meng has
You're
a few
wrong.
words. I'll say Meng has a few words for you.
You can't be. No.
This is sick. But like even taking like one more step back, thinking about like how you started off just doing, little drawings for yourself and, having your family being there to support you, to who you are right now, again, on the verge of getting this like animated project out there into the world. Does it amaze you more or less how far you've been able to develop as an artist?
Yes. Midmortis has made me a lot better at a lot of stuff. Because I'm, dipping my toes into every single part of the pipeline, I've been forced out of my comfort zone. Because, like, if you want to make this show, you better be damn willing to do it yourself,
Yep.
So, like, get off your ass and learn to animate.
To be fair, that kind of mentality is why I even started this podcast in the first place. Because I
It's
was,
a good mentality. It's
yeah.
tough love on yourself.
Well, I mean, because it's one of those, like, I'm sure you can attest to this, but especially in the art world, it's so easy for art to be kind of pushed out there, and like people will either absolutely love the art piece but not give two thoughts about the artist themselves, or it just gets lost in the ether of so much bad vibes and news and bullshit or whatnot.
Yeah.
So like, I wanted there to be a platform for artists to be able to talk about themselves and really hype up and let people know, hey, this thing that you absolutely love, I love it too. That's why I made it. That's why I put it out there. I want people to see more of it. I want to get more eyes on that product, or more eyes on the artwork that this person's making or whatnot. So you having that mentality with Midmortis and just buckling down and be like, someone's got to do this thing. Let me be the one.
Yeah.
It's honestly a really cool mentality to have. It does lead me to wonder with at least Midmortis, like, obviously we're, again, you're just trying to get like the first episode out there to the world. What is the ultimate hope? What is the ultimate dream when it comes to Midmortis? Like, what do you envision like the run of Midmortis being?
Well, I've got it all planned out in my little notes app.
Ooh.
I have thought of every episode. So unless things change, my ultimate goal is, no matter what happens, to just get the whole story out there.
Okay.
Even if I have to, like, if the quality has to change, if I have to change mediums, if I have to go to just being an animatic or something, I'm getting the whole thing done.
Okay. Hey, you know what? That again, that love and support that we just talked about or whatnot, the whole entire, like, I need to get it out there. Yeah, I can see why you want to just like get it out there in one form or fashion, however it needs to be told.
Mm-hmm. It'll be 2 seasons.
Okay.
9 episodes each.
Interesting. I mean, especially with like the world that you have potentially to talk about this stuff. Like, I'm surprised. I'll be intrigued to see how you can get what could potentially be so much into such a relatively small amount of time. All things considered.
Mm-hmm. And there are episodes that I literally cannot wait for.
Ooh.
Like, I just want the pilot to be over so I can get to my favorite part,
No, I totally get that. I'll tell you what, I'll ask this. Can you give a no context spoiler for one of the episodes you want to get out there? Like, just like I'll say, like, even if it's just like a single word, like vampire or something like that. Like,
there is an episode that I am looking forward to a lot.
Okay.
And it's called Shock Locked.
Shock Locked. Huh. It does. Yeah. You know what? Mission accomplished, because there is no way I can have any idea what that could potentially be about. There, especially the world that you have presented or whatnot, there are so many ways that could go when it comes to Shock Lock. All right. I dig it. That, again, mission accomplished. It's really good on that one.
I'm mysterious.
Yes, mysterious, spooky, mystical, maybe even supernatural when it comes to But we've been talking a lot about what you've been doing and what you hope to accomplish. Which, again, I have you on the podcast. I'm gonna be rooting for you to get this stuff out there in one form or fashion. But for this next question, Meng, if I may, what if we go a little bit above and beyond, and I give you more or less the dream scenario, if I may? Let's say I am Big Shot Mr. Moneybags. I come to you and like, look, Meng, we see the stuff that you're brewing. We see the stuff that you're cooking up here. You just need a little extra push, a little extra platform to get you to that end goal in one form or fashion. We have access to everyone and anyone in whatever industry possible, and more money than there should be possible. We really should be giving that back to the animators, making sure that they have, living wage, health insurance, all that kind of stuff. Hashtag stand with animation forever and always. But right now we're focusing on you and you alone. We'll get them later. We promise. We promise. You have our word, pinky promise, and all that kind of stuff. But we're focusing on you right now. If given this opportunity, what would be the Dream Meng project?
In my absolute delusion, Glitch production.
Oh, like working with Glitch on mixing?
Please, Glitch. Oh, pretty please.
Like, would it?
I love the work they do. I love the sort of environment they seem to foster. They just, like, God, cartoons that know how to have fun, damn it.
Right?
You wouldn't think that's such a scarcity, but it really is.
Yeah.
And they make people take indie animation so seriously. Like,
absolutely. Well, I was gonna say, like, for example, like, for a little behind baseball for the people that are watching this episode's coming out before their newest show, Knights of Guinevere, is about to release or whatnot. Does that not look like the coolest thing possible?
Right? And shows that, like, Midmortis is a 2D show. Hey,
Yeah,
guys.
true.
Hey.
True. So I imagine the dream is having Midmortis being produced by Glitch and going all out with what could potentially be there.
Yeah, because they've got a nice arrangement of toys and cool animators and publicity that's just, like, it's perfect.
Okay.
I love what they do, and people listen when they put something out, which
absolutely.
I really like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, for God's sakes, like I said, again, at the time of we're recording, their newest show has not even dropped yet, but there's so much buzz about that show, and
Digital Circus gets like 10 million views in an hour. Like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like what?
And Nendoroid figures and Hot Topic. Bro, Midmortis at Hot Topic, insanely fitting, by the way.
That's the ultimate end goal for you. Like, more than anything else, get Midmortis and Hot Topic. That's the goal.
Yes. Or like, if my ultimate goal has always been the same since I made Neomyth, and it's I will consider myself that I've made it when I see a kid I don't know at a Comic-Con cosplaying a character I made.
There you go. There you go. Well, I mean, honestly, especially given the characters that you do have set up and whatnot, that's a lot easier than you would think. I'm sure if someone like has that much of a love and appreciation for Midmortis once it actually gets out there, there's going to be at least a good, like, dozen of them that can easily dress up.
I will have made it then. I can die happy.
Like, can you imagine the amount of bald dudes alone that could pull up a Phoebus, like, really easily? Like, let's be honest.
Bro, I wish I could cosplay Phoebus. He's my favorite.
I mean, I don't blame you given the character. Yeah, bald cap. There you go.
Yes, he's my favorite. He is the least like me, and he'd probably hate me if I were, like, standing in front of him in real life. But God, I love him. He's just so fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just the no
and
nonsense.
He goes through it.
I would say, yeah, the no nonsense, like I'm about to fucking lose it mentality that this guy has.
It's funny, but also I get to put him through the ringer.
There you go. I love that mentality. But sadly, we do need to get down from the dream scenario, and we have to get back to reality, and I'll ask the ever so generic question. Where do you hope to see yourself in, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
With a few episodes under my belt, and that would be enough to make me happy. No matter what quality they get published in, no matter how long it takes, or how much work it takes, as long as I can have a few episodes and people watch them. Not tons, not millions, just some people watch it and they're like, "Oh, I like this show."
Yeah.
Then I will be a happy Meng.
Well, there you go. That's all. Being a happy Meng is always a good mentality to have at the end of the day. As we start to wind down the interview, I just got one last question I want to ask you. Obviously, you are deeply entrenched in art in one form or fashion. Again, given how long you've dedicated yourself to this, and there's no way anyone's going to drag you away from this field in one form or fashion. How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
Crucial.
Okay.
You know, like, most of what we know about ancient civilizations comes from the fact that the artists left behind their art. So, in a billion years, when somebody comes and wonders what the hell we were doing, pretty sure the only way they're gonna know is the art we leave behind.
Yep. And I know it's like, honestly, it's really wonderfully worded, and I'm glad that that's the mentality you have. But can you imagine if the art that they see being left behind is the Midmortis cast playing Gmod? Like, the one idea is that's
please. I think they were like deities that they must have worshipped these guys or something. They find like a Midmortis, like a Catgirl figurine. This must be one of their old gods.
This must be one of their old gods. This must be what be considered entertainment back in the day. Get the fucking can! Get the fucking can! Come on!
Computer!
Regardless, I think that is wonderfully worded, if I do say so myself.
Thank you.
Meng, that is all the questions I have for you. I've already showered you with Lord knows how much praise at this point, but I'm going to shower you with a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what the fuck I want. No, like I said, Meng, ever since I was first introduced to Midmortis, I was always curious and intrigued with what could potentially be done with this. I mean, sincerely, like, having this fun, silly concept, this little horror comedy aspect or whatnot, of just three random people, like, hunting down ghosts or whatnot, like, it's simple, but yeah, it's very effective, and especially with the dynamic that you have set up or whatnot, it has me so curious and so intrigued with how you're going to be able to execute that going forward. And that led me down, obviously, the rabbit hole to seeing, like, obviously, you and Sean and all the people that are working on it to see what you guys are doing. Getting the chance to chat with you right now and seeing how much that love and how much of that hyperfixation really drives you to get to this point to where nothing is going to stop you. You're going to do everything you can to tell this story, to get this out there. Like, that love and appreciation and passion for it is the things that I love, and I cannot get enough of when it comes to the art world. And I'm so glad that you're letting that passion be this driving force that no matter what happens, no matter, what aspect of it or however medium you need to get the story out there, is everything in your being to get this story out there. And I love it, and it makes me excited to see this story come to fruition. It's exciting to see how you're gonna be able to tell this fun story, because I'm gonna watch every single episode that I can. I'm gonna read every single comic that you put out there. I'm gonna and laugh at all the shorts that you'll be able to put out there and such. Like, I am excited to see what you're going to be doing with this, and I'm excited to see what you're just going to be doing, period, when it comes to animation, whether it is with Midmortis, or maybe you have some other ideas that you may want to take around with well after Midmortis is done, after Midmortis has taken its last breath and has gone into the grave and then come back as a ghost somehow. The long and the short of it is, Meng, I'm really excited for what you're going to be doing, and I cannot wait to see what you could potentially be doing from this point forward. So thank you for letting that passion drive you. Thank you for taking that opportunity to get this out there on your own accord, and just know them be rooting for you every single step of the way. So keep up the incredible work.
Thank you so much. That kind of support is why I do what I do.
Absolutely. No, trust me.
And I'm nothing if not persistent.
Hey, that persistence has gotten you to this point to where you're on the podcast, so. Now, if people want to know why I have been gushing about this unique, interesting concept and all this other kind of stuff for a good hour or so, however long we've been recording, go ahead and plug yourself for the people at home. Where can people find more about you and Midmortis?
It's very easy. www.midmortis.com.
There you go. I assume all the links and all the info that you can potentially see about Midmortis.
Everything. It's all connected through the Hive Mind website. Everything is, it's the hub. It's the nest.
There you go. And if for some reason I'll be sure to have that link as well as a few other ones that we may have mentioned throughout the episode or whatnot, so people can, go down, they can find it, they can show that love and support immediately.
Oh yeah, we've got Instagram, we've got TikTok.
Yeah.
Everything's under Midmortis. We're the one and only.
Exactly. Do you have any... Oh, wait, actually... That does lead me to one last question that I forgot to ask sooner. How exactly did the name Midmortis come to be? Why is that the name you said?
Well, Midmortem, I believe in Latin, translates to at the time of death.
So you just take
I just switched some letters around.
And
made it one word.
There you go. I just wanted to make sure. I know if there was like some... Because I know we talked about the world briefly, but I know that it's set in the city of Mortis or whatnot, so... Mortem County. I thought I saw it was like in the city of Mortis or whatnot somewhere on the website. I could be wrong, obviously. I'm always wrong. No,
or I need to update something.
Either way, Mortem County, regardless. No, that's really intriguing, and I'm glad I got that. I'm glad I made sure to ask that before we ended the episode.
Of course.
But with that, all I have left to say is, for the people at home, if you can, please pay your artists. Tell me what's wrong, tell me it's parts in motion. Sing me a song, tell me your eyes can all open. Show me it all, put me up in the car, you go when you used to call. Show me it all. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Like I said from the intro, Meng's just enthusiasm for Midmortis, among other things, was just so perfect for today's conversation. Meng, if you've gotten up to this point, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Sincerely. We are surprisingly close to the end of the year, and I'm going to be blunt with you guys. I am so ready for this year to be over with. Like, so badly. I think I'm probably in the majority when I say that this year has been shit. I hate to be blunt at this point in the conversation, but fuck. Look, I know this podcast is mainly about good vibes and all stuff like that, but that's why I'm excited for the year to end, because hopefully next year could bring a bright new, I guess, a clean slate, I guess would be the better word. Given all the chaos that has happened this year, stuff that is both within my control and completely out of my control, I am so ready for this year to be over with. That's not to say that I'm taking this year for granted. I mean, for God's sakes, look at how many incredible people we've been able to have on this podcast and how many cool experiences I've been able to share with you guys. It's been a unique year so far, and considering the fact that we're tailing up to December in a couple of months, it leaves me just more or less excited for the future at the end of the day. Excited that hopefully the opportunities that I get in the future are so much more wildly interesting, that I can get more incredible opportunities to spend time with some incredible people and bring forth some incredible guests for you guys to get a chance to listen to. I mean, heck, with the new collab feature that YouTube has added, maybe there's an opportunity to get more eyes on it. Just saying. Seriously, YouTube for once actually did like a good update and include that collab thing. Like, that's a major score. I don't care what anyone says. That is a major score. Look, regardless, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, we just gotta keep moving forward and we gotta keep doing incredible stuff. We're going to keep doing incredible stuff here on the podcast, and I sincerely hope that you at home, you keep doing the incredible stuff that you strive to do every day.